Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to 2A News Now. And as always here at 2A News Now, you get your Second Amendment news straightforward and to the point with no BS added in. Real quick before I start the video. After watching the video, if you enjoyed it and you appreciate the time and effort that it takes to make these videos, please help the channel out and help it continue to grow by liking, sharing, and subscribing and hitting those post notifications. I really would appreciate it. It's 2 days in a row now that I had to break out the Defund the ATF shirt. Yesterday I talked about the ATF putting over 1,000 FFLs on a list, including one that's owned by a senator. And if you haven't watched that video, there will be a link to it at the end of this one. In today's video, an ATF inspector that has no police authority whatsoever stopped a gun purchase while visiting an FFL because he said the buyer smelled like marijuana. Yep, you heard it right. In a small but significant example of more government overreach, an ATF Industry Operations Investigator violated the Second Amendment rights of a Central Florida man last month when he ordered the gun dealer to halt a pistol sale because he believed the purchaser possibly smelled like marijuana. The Industry Operations Investigator, also known as IOI, who is based out of the ATF's Tampa field office, was conducting a routine audit of a Plant City-based gun dealer when a person by the first name of Daniel, who wanted his last name withheld, walked in to pick up a Beretta 9mm APX he had ordered through Gunbroker, which had been shipped from a pawn shop from Alabama. Daniel had already completed the ATF 4473 form, denying he was an unlawful user of, or addicted to marijuana, or any depressant, stimulant, narcotic drug, or any other controlled substance, and passed the background check, and was ready to take his new handgun home when the ATF IOI intervened and ordered the gun dealer to stop the sale, which he has no right to do at all. Daniel talked to the Second Amendment Foundation and he said he wasn't high. He said none of it makes any sense to him. And we all know there are many reasons why Daniel could have smelled like marijuana. If the IOI's allegations are even true, Florida legalized medical cannabis in 2016. As of last year, the state has issued more than 831,000 medical cannabis cards. There are hundreds of cannabis dispensaries located throughout the state, while federal law still criminalizes marijuana use or possession. Even ATF's Tampa spokesman, Jason Medina, admitted it was possible that Daniel could have been exposed to secondhand smoke if his spouse, friends, or family used cannabis medicinally. That's true, Medina admitted last week in an interview. In addition, Amazon and hundreds of other retailers offer marijuana-scented candles, incense, sprays, air fresheners, colognes, perfumes, and essential oils, any one of which could have caused a similar odor. The IOI's actions raise other questions, which the ATF spokesperson refused to address. ATF's IOIs are not real cops, or as Medina explained, they're not sworn. They are not certified, he said. They are regulators. So why in the hell does this guy think he can stop this transaction? If he thought something was criminally going on, maybe he should have called a real cop. As a result, IOIs are not trained like real cops. Medina would not say whether the IOI who stopped the sale was ever trained to detect the smell of marijuana, or whether his observations were based upon his own personal use. Neither would he say whether the IOI was trained to recognize the symptoms of someone who was under the influence of marijuana. And while firearms dealers can stop a sale, Medina would not address under what circumstances an IOI can halt a firearm transfer, a question he described during his brief interview as a good one. Neither would he disclose whether the IOI's actions were within ATF's policy and procedures as of close of business on Monday. Neither Medina or anyone else was willing to discuss the case, including the IOI's boss, Aaron Gerber, the Director of Industry Operations for ATF's Tampa field office. Gerber did not respond to text, calls, or email seeking for his comments on the story. As for the ATF's disturbing pattern of ignoring media questions that they cannot control, keep in mind ATF Director Stephen Dettelbach just gave a 21-minute interview with CBS that contained nothing but softball questions. And they also had what they called an expert, who took a hell of a long time to dismantle a Glock. The agency needs to remember it's funded by our tax dollars. So the public has a right to know about their employees' conduct and misconduct. In closing, Daniel denied he used marijuana on the 4473 form. That should have been good enough. He should have taken his word Instead, the IOI violated his constitutional rights based on a mere sniff test. This is just the latest example of the ATF making up an excuse to deny a purchaser and then hiding from any ensuing scrutiny or fallout. Like I said earlier, it's just another example of ATF overreach. That IOI had no business stopping that transaction. And of course this won't happen. That person should be reprimanded for violating Daniel's constitutional rights. And maybe one of the groups like the Second Amendment Foundation, Gun Owners of America, and others will take up a case and sue the ATF for violating Daniel's rights. That would be awesome. As always, I would really like to hear your thoughts about today's video in the comment section. And I appreciate everybody's support with the channel. It just simply amazes me after every video how many people like, share, and subscribe and hit those post notifications. I'm very grateful. And I invite you to come on back and watch my next video.